Okay. Hopefully we are live here. Um, very sorry about that. All right, welcome. Hold on. Okay, welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host Carlito Santiago, and today we're going to be talking about what went down on Friday Night SmackDown. But if you can do me a favor while you're at it, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream. So, last week's show saw Drew McIntyre win the WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes in a 3 Stages of Hell match. But there's no rest for the Wicked. Nick Aldis has already set up a tournament to find out the next challenger. He's going to have 4 matches, and those 4 people who win it will be in a fatal 4-way for a Saturday Night Main Event, and that winner will face Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. So your new WWE Champion, of course, had to show up. So SmackDown opened with the usual shots of superstars arriving to the arena, like so, in London, England. We got a recap of what went down in 3 Stages of Hell. But backstage, we had a group of bagpipe players on stage playing McIntyre's theme to the ring. He took his time getting down the aisle and celebrated with some people in the front row. The Scottish psychopath had the crowd chanting his name, and it looked like he might give more of a babyface promo before he turned on the crowd and said they had never been there for him when it counts. He also revealed Cody Rhodes would not get a rematch per stipulation he snuck in their contract. This is when Orton came out and reminded McIntyre that he had beaten him before and could do it again. Then Jacob Fatu showed up and went right after the W Champion. They fought at the ringside as an assumed Viper watched from the ring. Fatu chased McIntyre through the crowd, allowing The Miz to sneak in and attack Orton from behind, hit him with a skull-crushing finale. McIntyre remaining a heel was both the expected route for him to take and the right call. So WWE could have turned him babyface following his victory, but opted to keep him as a heel. So it means we're going to get a babyface opponent for him. So that means that Trick Williams, or who'd he face? Matt Cardona, or Randy Orton, or The Miz, or anybody who's really a heel in this point might not get that match with him. His promo was good, and the way it led into the first match made sense. I'm sorry, I'm kind of got the snuffles, you guys. So, stick with me. I'm very sorry if you hear congestion, but that's exactly what's happening. So here's the first of 4 qualifying matches that took place: Randy Orton and The Miz, of course, with a long history. The A-list had the advantage after taking Orton out before the break, but the 14-time world champion was not going to go down easy. The match started during the break and saw Miz maintain control until Orton nailed him with a pair of clotheslines, a snap power slam. He dropped the A-lister on the table 3 times before hitting a draping DDT. The Viper scored the win with his patent RKO to end the predictable but decently entertaining match. These two have been working together for years, so they have built up enough chemistry to have a good match in their sleep. Not only that, but Miz really needs to, Miz has been looking weak as fuck, guys. Miz needs to be taken off of TV for a while. He needs to be go back to being that, host of the Miz TV, right? He needs to go back to doing that shit. Anyway, Drew McIntyre was shown still running from Fatu. I'm sorry if it keeps breaking. The fucking, the cord here is just a pain in the ass. But anyway, McIntyre was shown still running from Fatu when he ran into Ilya Dragunov backstage. Had a brief exchange. Before the break, Uncle Howdy delivered a pre-taped promo. Jesus fuck. He had a pre-taped promo. Okay. He had a pre-taped promo. Hopefully that worked. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Alright. He had a pre-taped promo about the MFT stealing Bray's lantern. Now, Bliss and Flair had a quick run-in with Lash Legend and Nia Jax backstage before they went into the ring for their tag team match against Julia and her lawyer. So James and Bliss started for their team, talked a little trash before the Goddess took James down with a few strikes. The U.S. champion and her advisor took control as the show cut to a break. This felt more competitive than their previous encounters, which benefited the match. James and Julia were definitely more aggressive than they have been in recent weeks, or even a month, or months. They had a couple of short stops that didn't look great, but most of what we got in this bout was good. My fucking god. Unfortunately, that aggression did not equal a win. The former tag team champions were able to secure the victory thanks to Bliss hitting James with his sister Abigail. Legend and Jax came out and attacked and we're going to go after Jax before getting involved in her business. But James talked her out of it and physically held her back. So yeah, their feud isn't over on SmackDown. So grade a B-. Your former champion. So Cody Rhodes cut his promo, like it so. Solo responded to Uncle Howdy's video. Whatever. Jacob Fatu and Cody will face each other at Saturday Night Main Event, so nothing much here. Trick Williams took on Matt Cardona, and Trick Williams proved why he belongs on SmackDown. Nothing much to say about this. Clean fucking finish we got. The former Zack Ryder put up a good fight, but Williams prevailed to advance to the Fatal 4-Way. For some reason, though, Kit Wilson came out and attacked Cardona before posing for the crowd, which seemed to enjoy his antics. And, of course, the way that WWE's getting Wilson over with his theme song. Everybody's liking the Zesty Wilson. That's what we're going to call him. Kit Zesty Wilson. I know. It's very weird. But, yeah. There's a lot more for Matt Cardona here in WWE. Of course, now signed with WWE. And Trick Williams now heads to that Fatal 4-Way match with Randy Orton. Damian Priest took on Solo Sikoa. Following this, of course, Wilson was still in the ring after the break. He delivered a quick promo saying he was the solution to the toxic masculinity problem. Fatu showed up and took him out with a few of his signature moves before telling Rhodes to come out and fight. So they had a brawl before we got up to our next match, Priest and Solo Sikoa. So the rest of the MTs were by Solo's side. Both of these powerhouse brawlers got set, and it didn't take long for them to start throwing strikes. Priest found himself being attacked by the MFTs when Sikoa had a referee distracted before the break. We return to see the Archer of Infamy still being dominated by the Street Champ. The two previous qualifying matches didn't feel like they were big stakes, but Sikoa and Priest did a good job making this feel like an important match for them. These two always work well together. They mesh well. So the ref caught Tala cheating and booted him out of the arena. As Sikoa was preparing to finish Priest off, the lights went out in the arena. The Wyatts appeared behind them, standing on top of the announce table. So they took out the MFTs. With Sikoa stopped by Howdy Sikoa stopped Howdy from taking the lantern, but the distraction allowed Priest to hit his finisher and win the match. Graded B+, so Damian Priest heads to the Fatal 4-Way. Carmelo Hayes took on Leon Slater in a U.S. Open Challenge for the UK, and this match was top-notch. You see, Hayes held another Open Challenge for the U.S. title. TNA's Leon Slater answered the call. Slater is from the UK, which, of course, some people didn't know. So London crowd gave him a warm welcome. They locked up and immediately started trading counters and takedowns at a brisk pace. Hayes had a slight size and power advantage, but it seemed to be even ground for speed and agility. This was the first time these two have ever shared a ring together, and it looks like they've been working together for years. They had instant chemistry thanks for their similar abilities. See, Hayes appeared to land funny on his left leg, but continued the match. They wore each other out, and by the time the commercial break was over, both men were looking worse for wear. Once again, the U.S. title stole the show on Friday Night SmackDown. And why wouldn't it? Hayes has proven he is one of the most reliable workers on the roster, but the past few weeks of the titles have cemented him as one of the best all-around wrestlers in WWE. So Hayes continued to sell the injured leg, but he fought through it and managed to beat the young X Division champion to retain the U.S. title. Hayes turned a superplex into a collar for the win, which looked pretty fucking good. Now, it's too bad for Slater was pulled from TNA Genesis due to his WWE commitments. Slater makes so much Slater makes so many things he does look easy. He definitely a prodigy in the ring, and WWE would be wise to sign him once his TNA deal is up. And yeah, honestly, having him be with NXT, honestly, having him be in a tag team with the young OG himself is even better. I do like that. I do like when Leon Slater and fucking Javon Evans get together. And then having Carmelo Hayes, it's really fun to see these guys in the ring. Chelsea Green took on Jordynne Grace, which was, of course, just a squash, but it was a short match because Grace won clean with a finisher. Cargill didn't look impressed. The Juggernaut got on the mic and challenged Cargill to defend her title right there and then. Green tried to attack Grace from behind, but ended up crashing into Cargill instead, which gave Grace a chance to pose with the title before tossing it out to the champion. So, nothing more. We got another teaser for Obafemi's impending arrival on SmackDown, which is going to be fucking good. But our main event was Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov, and boy, did they fucking kill it. These two men tore the house down in their last match for the U.S. title. Over the U.S. title, locked horns again this week for a chance at the last spot in the number one contenders Fatal 4 rematch. Zayn got the match going by firing off some forearms, and Dragunov was more than happy to respond with some strikes of his own. The Mad Dragon took control and kept Zayn on defense for a long time, but the underdog from the underground hit a suplex out of nowhere to turn things around. The best part about this match is that it felt completely different from their last encounter. They worked hard to make it feel like both men were fighting for their lives. Zayn's a lauded veteran, and Dragunov is one of the best young stars on the roster. So, you shouldn't be surprised to hear they put on another great show. But after a great back and forth fight that saw both men come close to winning a few times, Sami Zayn ultimately came out with a victory by hitting the haluva kick. Graded an A-, and probably the second best thing on the show. To close that out. So, we now know who's a part of the Fatal 4-Way. Trick Williams, Randy Orton, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn. One of those men are going to face McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, and I think it's going to be none other than Sami Zayn. I'm going to explain why when I get to my prediction, or when we get a bit closer, but for right now, Sami Zayn is entering Sami Zayn is probably going to be entering the Royal Rumble, but it's better if we give him the title match too. WWE's planned this out pretty good. One of my thinkings here is that Sami Zayn's probably not going to win the Royal Rumble. With WWE planning to now not give us Cody Rhodes and Roman for a third time, WWE's planning to give us Roman Reigns and CM Punk at WrestleMania, instead opting for McIntyre and Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania for the WWE title, because it's better for Cody to chase the championship again than it is for him to walk into WrestleMania as the defending champion. Cody rather chase it than to defend it. And for everybody to get behind him like that is great. The only problem is that Cody had to chase it, 3 different fucking times, especially twice with Roman Reigns being champion. So now he's walking into WrestleMania to face Drew McIntyre. Well, Cody's not going to win a Royal Rumble again. They're going to give this one to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is probably going to win the Royal Rumble, and he's going to kind of tease, who's going to face McIntyre, is he going to face Punk? He's going to face Punk at this point. Cody will probably win the Elimination Chamber, which is fine. But I always wanted to see Sami Zayn be the one to do it. Sami Zayn wins the Elimination Chamber, and he faces McIntyre at WrestleMania. Where does Cody fit? Well, we don't know. But because Cody is right now the present, Sami Zayn obviously has to be the future. Therefore, at this Royal Rumble, it's only fitting and fair that you give Sami Zayn the World Championship match if he's not going to win the Rumble, nor is he going to win the Elimination Chamber. It's only fair to me. And I can already see it too. If Sami Zayn doesn't win this match to face McIntyre, he'll enter the Royal Rumble, and a lot of people are going to be choosing Zayn to win the Rumble, even though Roman Reigns looks like the obvious choice. I just wanted to clear that up. But what was the final grade? Well, SmackDown put on a great fucking show, juggling multiple storylines related to the titles in 2 matches that stood out amongst the rest. Hayes and Slater put on an incredible display of high-flying action in the U.S. title bout, adding another long line of show-stealing performances by competitors fighting over the belts. And as for Sami Zayn and Dragunov, well, they created some magic too. So, we now know it's Orton, Williams, Zayn, and Priest fighting over a title shot in what should be an awesome match at Saturday Night Main Event, January 24th on Peacock. This week's show had a couple of weak spots, but of course it's a decent way to spend a few hours of Friday night, so this one was worth it. graded a B, and I'm going to turn that into a B plus because of the performance by Sami Zayn and Slater, or Sami Zayn, Dragunov, Hayes, and Slater. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, don't forget the subscribe button, dropping a like, and of course turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream like this. I will be back on Monday to do this all, or I'll be back on Tuesday to do all of this again. I'm sorry it was delayed. Of course, it's apparently snowed. It surprised me the most. Surprised me to know that it snowed here where I'm from. And it's going to snow again. So I'm sorry for the delay. And I should be back next week, regular time, hopefully. I know it's going to be really cold this week. So, yeah. Royal Rumble's just a couple weeks away. And I will see you guys when I see you guys. The predictions video will be up in a couple weeks. And, of course, you will get the predictions. You will get the watch-along for the Royal Rumble, which will be nice. And you will get the review of the Royal Rumble on the Sunday. So, gets all cleared up. But I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace. And hopefully the audio is better the next time I'm